Yo, what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 398. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
What's up, people? How's it going?
Carlos Romero.
Yo, yo, yo.
And Brian Manjoma.
Make sure that you have the right flags out there.
Oh, my God. I know exactly what you're talking about. All right, so a couple of things. Chris cannot join us tonight. He is initiating the Odin sleep. Adam, we don't know where he is. I had to play Gears. You know,
I got, my homeboy Slim Shady. He contacted me on the Xbox, and man, he remembers Slim Shady, and got to play the Gears, and got the whole crew back
Slim
together.
Shady showed up, and then Platano showed up, and before you know, we were all playing Gears, just like the old days.
We were running what do they call them? Gears? Not raids. Goddamn, they basically created this genre.
Horde mode.
Oh yeah, Horde.
We running
through
Horde mode.
Yes, speaking of Adam, I noticed that Carlos is advertising a certain podcast.
Well, I mean, if Adam's not here to promote it, then I guess I'll promote it throughout the whole show. And also shout out to Manny, who's the original artist of this beautiful logo. I don't know what it called.
We need to put that on a shirt. I would think if you
that'd be
Copyright infringement.
Nah, man, we just sell it off on our end.
Yeah.
Don't put it on something like a Redbubble because they'll copyright strike everything.
Yeah, motherfuckers. Again, okay, Brett, we don't know where he is, obviously, because Brett will do what he's gonna do.
Who's the Brett of the Wild?
Yeah,
hanging with the crickets.
And yeah, so you got to deal with us tonight. Another one of those weeks where not a lot of stuff happened, but there was some stupidity going on in the industry. Fanboy side specifically, but we'll get into that later.
That's not industry.
Yeah, it's not, but it's stupid.
Industry is like somebody from one part of the industry throwing shade at another person on the other side of the industry.
Yeah, this is the
industry.
Yeah, we should say drama going on in the community.
The community.
And I got threatened today. Hey, it hasn't happened in a long time,
Oh, did it? What was the threat?
We'll get into it later. We will address it. Nothing big.
Okay.
I'm baffled. I'm like, you realize you're saying this publicly where everybody can see you, right? Mm-hmm. Hilarious, man. Hilarious. Anyway, let's talk about some of the stuff that did happen. Okay, so we all know Spider-Man is on PC. Some PlayStation fanboys not happy about that, but this trend will continue. I'm for it. But, as always happens with PC releases, people started digging into the files, digging deep into the files, and they found some interesting stuff. Apparently, there are some suggestions that PSN account linking may be coming.
Some sort of what they found was some sort of launcher.
Not a launcher exactly, but it was just file names. I'll tell you the file names right now, courtesy of VGC. They're the ones that found this stuff. So Spider-Man's files contain multiple references to PSN account linked and PSN linking entitlements. Very interesting there. And then before that, there were other files called level cap extras and PSN linking bonuses. So even if, obviously, this is an official, like Sony's like, this is happening, but these are files that were found in there. So that's real, and this site verified this because I think some people, I don't know where this really came from, but they saw the post and they're like, let's look for this ourselves. And sure enough, files were there. So this at least tells you Sony is at least entertaining the idea, and think about it like this. And I ended up writing an editorial about this because I'm like, we need a PlayStation launcher on PC. I know some people don't want that. They want to keep, Brett, he's always like, just keep everything on Steam, but I'm like, listen, it doesn't matter. You're still on the same computer. Click on another program, But my thing is, and I've been saying this forever, I just want my trophies to pop up. I just want my trophy. And you could even do that without a dedicated launcher, right? Think about it. When me and Carlos, when we play Halo on Steam, we get our achievements, All you need is account linking. So if you do that, we'll be great, So I'm all for it, man.
Yeah,
Carlos,
I don't see.
yeah, go ahead, man. You go first.
I don't see any issue with it. I mean,
No issue. Just interesting. Nobody was really mad about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. Like, I mean, to be honest, it's like, it sort of just becomes part of the same thing. My only worry is that their launcher is just not well made. There has been some really lousy launchers that.
Well, the thing is, PlayStation already has a launcher.
That's North Korea.
Yeah, and it sucks. It sucks.
Even that. So, like, you look at what they already have. So, you're going to tell me they're going to connect it to that whatever launcher they got going on there? I don't know. That's the only fear. Not fear, but the only slight. I don't want to say misgiving. I don't know what to call it. Just a little bit of a trepidation. There you go. Thanks for the $20 word, Carlos. Trepidation about it. I noticed that a lot of their stuff outside of their PlayStation and even their store is kind of lousy, like the way it's designed.
Yeah.
So if the future of this is really bad design, launcher design, I don't know. That's the only issue I have.
But at the same time, even if they do have the launcher, we all know it's not going to be great from the jump. They need to start somewhere,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be good, at least in a good state, and then they can better. But they do have to start somewhere, and I think this is coming eventually, especially with their push towards PC. Not only with the games, but also with the hardware, as we talked about, the in-zone line now that's specifically for PC players and all that. So Sony's definitely making a push. It's just how will they implement it, because they're definitely behind the ball on this shit. Microsoft already got this shit figured out.
They've totally stopped making PCs in general, though. They sold that division off, didn't they?
What, Sony?
Yeah.
Do they still make PCs? I don't know.
Yeah, PC manufacturing hardware.
Maybe VIOS. I don't know if VIOS is still a thing.
Yeah, right. But I think VIOS is still around, right?
It might be still
may
around.
Not be Sony anymore, though.
Anyway, Carlos, what's up? What's your thoughts?
I mean, I do agree with Tony about, I'd be happy because this could be a gateway for linking trophies on the PC.
Yeah, man.
And maybe cross save could be potentially something else. Because, I mean, it's cool, that Spider-Man and God of War and all of these games are coming to the PC. That's pretty cool. But the thing that sucks is, for me, I'm like, I want to play my saves. I don't want to start over again. Yeah, I mean, man. I want to get all my souped up characters and all my progression. Let's say, it'd be cool. Like, think about it like this. Let's say you're playing God of War, like myself. I played God of War. I played it as quickly as I could to beat it as fast as I could, because remember we did a review. I think like that same week or something like that, when the game came out. I haven't touched it since. So when it comes to PC, I'm like, oh, I get to play it on my PC, and I get to, yeah, exactly. And we get to play it on the PC, and I get to carry over, and then maybe I could get the platinum. Who knows? But it'd be like a cool incentive to carry on the PC, play with get the trophies, have my progression saved, and cross over, and continue on from there. That'd be pretty cool. Even if you do have to double dip buying the game, which sucks. But I mean, it's something. Yeah. It's something that I would be at this moment. I'm willing to take on.
Although, I don't expect them to do this, but wouldn't it be nice though? You buy that game once. You buy that game once, just like an Xbox, and you're good to go, no matter the platform. That's asking a little bit too much at this point. But I don't think cross saves and all that other stuff, PSN account linking, I don't think that's too much to ask for.
Right. It definitely is a start.
Yeah, what's up? Oh, hold on, bro. Brett, what's going on, brother?
What's up, people?
How you doing?
Good.
Yeah, Manny, what were you gonna say?
No, I said it's. I mean, yeah, I don't. There's no problems. I have with that, and having a launcher on there. But what does Brett think about that, though?
Yeah, Brett, have you heard about this stuff?
I have no idea. I literally just got here.
Okay, I'll fool you in. Basically, as PC players do, they dug around the PC version of Spider-Man, which came out, and they found some references to the file's called PSN account link, among other things. So basically, people are saying that like, oh, maybe this will eventually lead to like a PlayStation launcher. Maybe our trophies will carry over to the PC port. Basically, the way Xbox does it. So what do you think about that? And the thing is, this isn't a rumor. Like, it's been verified multiple places. So even though Sony hasn't said anything official, the files exist. They're there. You could, if you had the wherewithal, you could go dig in there right now and see them yourself.
Oh, so it's just cross. Like you can start a game on PC and pick it back up on your PlayStation, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what people think these files are suggesting here.
Sounds very similar to what Vita used to do, where they had the cross-buy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it sounds like something we've tried before. Makes sense. I don't know. It's not a huge deal, other than it'd be cool to see implemented, but I can very easily see that be one of those things being scrapped as it was developed.
Yeah. And Manny said this, it's like, if they develop it, how useful it would be, because Sony's PlayStation ventures outside of PlayStation haven't exactly been all that. Look at the current launcher they have on PC. It's kind of shit.
Yeah.
So, but I get, like I said, hey, you got to have something, right? You got to start somewhere. So
there you go.
Yeah. So it got to have it, man. What is that? 17 minutes, 13 seconds.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be cool. Brian, you have any thoughts on this?
My thought is just the launch is a really bad idea. Again, mostly because of what Manny said. It's like they have a bad track record of doing anything just awful software-wise. So it's just going to be awful out the gates. And I'm sure that majority of PC players would just hate yet another launcher to add on top of everything else. So again, there'll be lots of pushback on that front. And even if they do like the Ubisoft way, which I still don't agree with, where it's still on Steam, technically speaking, but then what happens is that when you launch it on Steam, it actually launches Uplay and then starts the game. So even if they do it that way, it's still kind of like you have a launcher as the middleman, and it's like, you don't need this there, just get rid of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they could run into like lots of pushback if they do it the wrong way. But definitely the idea of being able to like sign into like but then again, like it's kind of like a weird trade-off where I'm willing to tolerate a launcher if there's ability to sign into my PSN account and get all the trophies and get all the saves. I think that would be worth it, because then at least it's giving you something for the hassle of it all, But then again, they need to deal with the elephant in the room, which is what happens if you launch on PC, you mod your save, and then you launch on PlayStation. It's like, how's that going to work? Again, that's the thing that no one wants to talk about, but I'll talk about it because it's a thing. So how's it going to?
Have we heard of any instances of that happening with like Xbox games and PC?
I've not heard with Xbox games, but I know it's prevalent in the Monster Hunter World community.
Oh, shit.
And I know this because I've seen someone's video and they talk about it explicitly, saying that they go on PS4, they mod their saves to have all the items, and then they switch over to like PS5, and then suddenly they have like every single item in the game. I mean, like he like maxed out on everything, Tony.
That's crazy.
Like everything, like you can always tell that it's like a modded file when it's like 99999 of everything. So it's like,
Oh my god.
Unless you Rico, then I believe he did it.
I mean, like a previous PlayStation example of this is when they finally added in trophy support, and they literally negated all of the old save files. Like the trophies were not retroactive because those older saves could actually be modified. So they were like, oh no, you got to redo everything over again.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because I mean, the save compatibility between PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 is all jarky. So between PlayStation 5 and PC might still be even a bigger leap to jump. And also, I do have to mention, and Tony, you let me know where this was. This was found within the code, right? That's what they said.
Yeah. No, within it's within the files, I guess. Yeah, within the code. Yeah, within the code. Yeah.
So it's important. It's important to mention this, and I'm pretty sure Brian will agree. This could have been in the PlayStation 5 code as well, because a lot of code gets reused. Whenever you're porting something over, a lot of the same code gets ported over. So it could be something that already existed for the PS5, and it's just a whole bunch of files that went through that people didn't want to get rid because they were obsolete.
It's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah.
And then also there's the other point, which is slightly more depressing, which is sometimes, again, Carlos knows this, like sometimes when you're coding something, you just kind of leave old code there because it's just old and no one wants to touch it. So it could just be files that were left there because no one wants to remove them, and they actually do nothing and they have no purpose there. So that's also like another, again, I'm not saying that's the case, I'm just saying that's also a thing that can happen.
Here's another $20 word for you: vestigial. It could be that.
Nice.
Just shit that's left over. It's just junk DNA. Good. I'm glad you brought that up. It could be just PSN linking. That's nothing to do with PC.
Yeah,
right?
It could just be something that was already in the code of Spider-Man PS4 or PS4 and PS5.
Yeah, because a lot of those, I saw those keywords, and none of them made any reference to PC. It was just PSN linking.
So a good thing to check out would actually be to see if these same files exist in the two PlayStation versions. Then they could fully confirm that if this is actually a feature or just some leftover data.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, where are these nerds?
Yeah, the nerds, right?
They're nerds.
They're nerds. It's just funny when you say that to people on Twitter, you realize they don't get the joke, right? They're probably, you nerd, or you're a nerd, I
always assume because I feel like it's something that we've always done since we were young. But I don't know. It could be just me. Is it just me?
Yeah, it kind of is you. But, because people call this like, yeah, we are, yeah. Like, yeah, that's what we are, man. But I'm just saying they don't understand the specific Carlos way of saying it,
Oh, yeah,
like on Twitter, he'd just be like, you're a nerd. That's very different. Very different when we say it,
Yeah, the connotations is kind of it doesn't exist in Twitter. So yeah, I do understand that.
Yeah, like when I read it, I hear it that way. You're a nerd. That's how I read because I know you. But like because I think you said it to our boy Blackstar, he probably heard like you're a nerd. Like, oh shit.
He'll be like, what the fuck?
The fuck, man? Come over and slap the shit out of you, man. Shout out to Blackstar, man.
Shout out to Blackstar, man. OG.
The OG. All right. Okay. So. Other more Sony stuff. So remember that web page we talked about the other day with that old ass looking laptop and stuff, PlayStation games or PC. So yes. I guess that was like a beta thing or something because now the official site has gone up, right? But we're not talking about that specifically. We're talking about some of the interesting things that were brought up in the FAQ, right? For people who know, frequently asked questions. Let me bring this up. There's two things here. One question is, do I need a PSN account to play PlayStation games on PC? No, you currently do not need a PSN account to enjoy PlayStation Studio games on PC.
Oh.
Currently. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Another one, let's see. If I already own the game on PS4 or PS5, do I need to purchase the game separately to play on PC and vice versa? Yes, the PC and console versions of PlayStation Studios games are different products. It is currently not possible to purchase the PC version of a title then play it on PS4 and PS5 and vice versa. Currently, again,
they're hedging their bets.
Can I transfer my save from the PS4 to PS5 version to the PC version? It is currently not possible to transfer save data. Are we sensing a theme here?
That's the Pee Wee's Playhouse word of the day. Currently.
You know? Let's see here. Okay. So, because I didn't read further into this. Do PlayStation games on PC have trophy support? PlayStation Studios titles include support for achievements on both Steam and Epic Games. They will not sync with your trophies. that's definitive a statement right there. You know, no. You
They're
know,
like,
so,
nope.
Yeah, so contrast that with the currently. You know, I don't know if we're reading too much into that, but you know, that's 3 separate instances of that word showing up. You know, so Carlos, what's your take?
Yeah, I guess it's just it's it's technical speech just to hedge their bets. I don't think there's anything definitive coming out or any of these features that are going to be plausible in the future. But I guess just to cover their asses from potential changes, then they have to put currently because
But they didn't with
something
trophies.
can always happen.
They didn't do it with trophies. No currently in there.
Yeah, that was, like you mentioned, that was pretty definitive. I don't know. I hope for those currentlies, I hope they do change.
You know.
For the trophies part, I'm kind of sad, but
Yeah,
I'm currently sad.
Yeah, I'm currently into there, man. Give me some hope.
Yeah, man. Man, let me live.
Yeah, that's the shit I want the most. I want trophies and I want my saves.
Trophy saves. Those are the two. I don't even care about cross buy anymore.
Yeah,
as long as I can get
the
those.
launcher either. Just give me my trophies, man. That's all.
Yeah, fuck the launcher.
You know,
like even right now, like even with everything, regardless, fuck the launcher. Like Manny said, I have no faith that Sony is going to develop something that's going to work.
we don't need a launcher for Halo. Just launch right in. Just play the game. That's
You just look at their current store, man. The fucking you know?
Yeah, so interesting stuff right there. Currently happening at Sony.
Currently.
So we'll see what happens. I just want to bring it up, but kind of interesting. All right, now we're going to talk about who I'm calling right now mini Microsoft. The Embracer Group gobbling up more game studios. So
they embracing studios right now?
Yes, they're embracing studios. So they one studio and one right. So they bought one of Manny's favorite studios, or what would you call limited run games? What are they exactly? They're like a distributor. Like what are they?
They're a publisher.
Yeah.
They're an external publisher. That's interesting that they bought limited run games. To be honest, though, I heard a lot of rumors about limited run games.
Uh-oh.
It's interesting.
Trouble in Paradise?
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors about shady business and all kinds of other funky stuff going on. Like not planned obsolescence, but like planned sort of, fake. What do they call it? Scarcity. Like Nintendo artificial scarcity with their titles.
Oh.
And they're also some of the renumbering that they sort of do whenever. Ooh. So every limited run game has a number on them, but they tend to reset the number every, I guess, season or whatever you want to call it. So it goes back to number 1. So it's like a weird sort of thing. So people who are collecting the games essentially will have 2 number 1s from different times, as opposed to keeping the same numbering system. So, but it's interesting that they bought them.
Yeah, we don't need to read all this fucking PR shit, but that's interesting. And then the other thing is, go ahead.
Maybe one thing about the limited run games thing is maybe it will allow they'll finally be able to get their games out at this, their physical editions out at the same time as the actual digital editions of some of those games. Remember how like Streets of Rage, you had to wait to get the actual physical version of it?
Yeah. So I'm reading something about the Carbon engine that limited run has. You know anything about that, Manny?
The Carbon engine is probably the 2D engine, because there is a guy that works over there that did develop a game, which was one of the early limited run. Well, it was a limited run game.
Yeah, it says right here, Limited Run will operate as an independent subsidiary with the CEO and COO continuing to lead the company under the newly formed operative group Embracer Free Mode. The Carbon Engine and Limited Run's business model aligns with the focus area heritage with Free Mode, cherishing retro games and the opportunity to shepherd classic games into the future and preserve the legacy. Interesting.
There's also a lot of weirdity about their preservation techniques, where they're not actually like a lot. Like the idea of a limited run game is to get a game that's physical, but then for a lot of the games, they are just a launcher that sends you to one of the stores.
Sounds shady.
A lot of different sort of things that people are not very happy with them for doing. The idea of a limited run game is the idea of they always say preservation and and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, if you're getting a launcher that goes to the damn store of whatever console you're buying, that what does that do? The disc means absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So, just a lot of little things that people are not very happy about what they're doing.
Yeah.
But hopefully the change of ownership will help them to do more, do better.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. And the other interesting thing is, they now own the. Hold on, let me see here. They own the rights to Lord of the Rings films and other Tolkien intellectual property. I'm guessing video games.
They own the rights?
Yeah, let me see. The deal gives Embracer the rights to Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit film trilogies and any Tolkien-related movies, video games, board games, merchandising, theme parks, and stage productions. Whoa, that's great.
Yeah.
They literally snatched that out of Warner Brothers' hands.
Yeah, Warner Brothers had it, yeah.
Or New Line Cinema.
Swedish company Embracer Group said Thursday that it agreed to acquire Middle-earth Enterprises, which owns worldwide rights to Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit film trilogies, as well as other properties related to the books of J.R.R. Tolkien. Shit.
572 million.
So they literally bought the Lord of the Rings franchise from the Tolkien estate?
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like it's just the movies that came out. It looks like it says and other properties related to the books by J.R. Tolkien.
So the show too, then?
Yeah, that's the part that I'm confused about.
Yeah,
because it says
sounds like
because this is a bigger story than we think. Then
it says the purchase comes ahead of the premiere of Amazon's Rings of Power series on September 2nd. Amazon spent nearly $250 million to license the rights in 2017. An animated movie from Warner Brothers is expected in 2024. Mobile game Electronic Arts is also in the works. So it looks like all of these fall within Embracer Group.
Yeah, and check this out. The company Embracer Group will explore, and this is a quote, additional movies based on iconic characters such as Gandalf, Aragorn, Gollum, Galadriel, Eowyn, and other characters from literary works of J.R. Tolkien.
Oh god.
Oh fuck! Here we go. They're gonna Disneyify this shit.
Yeah,
I mean that's interesting. I mean,
you know how we get a Star Wars show every other week? I guess we're gonna do that with Lord of the Rings now.
I mean, again, it's interesting that the Tolkien family just let it go like that.
Yeah, I guess.
But I mean, it's a lot of money.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money.
Christopher Tolkien's not around anymore, right? Didn't he pass away?
Christopher Tolkien?
I'll look it up.
Yeah, because he was a guy kind of holding all that together for a long time, And if he passed away, this probably like, okay, up for grabs now.
He passed 2020.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Oh man. Okay. See, now that's why okay. Now I know. Now the story makes sense.
Yeah.
If he passed away in 2020, that means that his family doesn't know what the fuck to do with that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they just say, you know what? Let's just sell it.
Wow. This is fucking huge.
That's pretty huge.
Holy shit.
Only 500 million?
Yeah, that's for the Lord of the Rings franchise.
That's for the Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit. I mean, I would have paid much more for that.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a situation where they just wanted to get rid of it, and
Right,
just not
shadow
have to deal with all the stuff that goes with it. I hope they at least made a deal that they still make money off of any of the licenses off of it.
Who's left in
Money
that
off of it.
family though.
I don't know. Did
guessing
he
his
have
kid?
did he have children? I don't know.
This is great. I thought it was just a little thing. I thought they just bought the video game rights. They bought the fucking franchise. Holy shit.
Where does Embracer Group get all this money?
I don't know. I'm telling you, they're Microsoft now, And it says
Wait,
here that they're valued.
yeah.
What are they valued at? $85 billion?
No,
87.5.
I'm looking.
Wait,
here. It
no,
says
no,
8.8.
I'm reading the fucking Swedish version. The Swedish Krakoa, whatever the fuck the currency is. 8.36 billion. Interesting. Microsoft could buy these motherfuckers. Yo, could you imagine that Microsoft just, we want the Lord of the Rings. Let's buy the entire Embracer group.
Well, I'm surprised Amazon didn't buy them. They paid $250 million for a series.
Yeah.
I mean, they couldn't double it up to get the whole thing.
Yeah, right? I don't know. That's fucking crazy.
Yo, man.
Embracer Group, they're coming,
I wonder if... But it's also tricky because Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Ring, the original trilogy was so special.
Yeah.
I wonder, and this show that's going to come out, who knows how it's going to do?
It's like Basuda already, man.
Yeah, so I don't know how, how the franchise can carry over. It might just be a legacy play, but I mean, they're obviously going to make like you guys mentioned, they're probably going to make TV shows off the wazoo for
God.
Galadriel and Gandalf and
the sad part
Smeagol.
is, I guess they literally said that's the plan.
Oh, well, there you go. So they're gonna they're gonna make all of these shows, but who knows how well they're gonna do? Like this isn't like a given cash cow like some other acquisitions are. Like Disney when they bought what's it called, Marvel. I felt like that was more of a sure thing.
Yeah, we don't know. It depends on how they do it, and again, how much of this can you milk? I don't know. By the way, I'm going to give a quick shout out to Neo GameSpark. We follow each other on Twitter. He tweeted this out: "Breaking, you have been acquired by Embracer Group." Because
there it is.
Snatching everybody up. Crazy.
It says the headquarters are in Vienna.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Oh no! Embracer Group AB is a Swedish video game and media holding company based in Karlstad. Okay.
Based in Karlstad? What?
Karlstad.
Karlstad. Interesting.
Yeah, but it's his headquarters in Vienna, so I got confused a little bit.
Yeah, think about sausages.
So apparently, Christopher Tolkien had some sort of falling out with his son over the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Oh shit!
And that was made, I guess, by Peter Jackson and all that sort of stuff. And he felt that it was unadaptable and shouldn't be given out. Eventually, they reconciled before his passing. He was 95 years old, by the way. So he was almost 100 years old.
Yeah, I mean, J.R. Tolkien is his brother, and Tolkien was like he died in the 80s or something like that.
Christopher Tolkien is his son.
Oh wait, is his son?
Yeah,
that's his
son. That was his brother.
No, Christopher Tolkien's his son.
I got it confused.
Yeah, no. But I guess, the genes run strong,
Yeah, so my guess is that what happened is they didn't want to deal with any of that sort of stuff, and they hopefully they signed a good deal that allows them to collect money off of the franchise. But I think they just wanted to be like, oh yeah, we're done. We don't need to watch over this thing anymore.
Yeah,
maybe that's how they got it for so cheap. Is there some profit sharing in there?
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they handle the Embracer Group handles the licensing and all that sort of stuff essentially, and they just pop them a check. Pretty much, kind of like the way the Disney company works, where there's nobody at the Disney company nobody who is an actual Disney that's in charge of the Disney company. They just get money off of the Disney company. The last person to to the last Disney to be involved with the Walt Disney Company was Roy Disney, and he died, a long time now.
So here's my question: Aren't they some new thing? I think it's on Amazon, maybe based on the Silmarillion.
Yeah.
They're coming out with something new.
Yes, that was according what we that was that deal was made in like 2017 with Amazon. So Amazon paid a shitload of money to make Lord of the Rings stuff.
250 million.
That's right.
So that now we're seeing that coming to fruition.
The pieces just, they don't fit. Like Carlos said, like, why would you pay $250 million for the rights to a streaming show and then just sell everything for $500 million? It doesn't necessarily make sense.
Well, they didn't pay $200 million for that. They paid $250 million to create their own Lord of the Rings show. They didn't own any of the intellectual property. They just were paying to. It's like me if I paid $250 million to make a Mario game.
They're paying, though they are paying a licensing fee, but they're not paying to use any of the stories. That's why all the Rings of Power stuff is all different from whatever the Silmarillion says.
That almost even makes less sense because they're paying more and getting less.
Yeah, that definitely doesn't make sense because if Amazon is 10 times bigger than Embracer Group, so they could definitely afford to buy them up.
Yes, are we absolutely sure that it's the entire rights? Like, I know how it reads, but like, could that still possibly be just like the rights for video games in general?
They didn't say anything about video games. They said Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. So this is from Deadline. I'll read the first two. They're quick paragraphs. Swedish video game company Embracer Group has acquired Middle-earth Enterprises, a division of the Saul Zaentz company, which owns the intellectual property catalog and worldwide rights to the Lord of the Rings trilogy and The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. The financial terms of the acquisition were not disclosed, but the deal means Embracer Group will pick up the motion picture, video game, board game, merchandising, theme parks, and stage production rights relating to the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit franchises, as well as.
Okay, so yeah, it seems like whatever that might be the publisher of the Lord of the Rings that sold this portion of it.
Yeah,
but they just it seems like they just sold the all of the essentially the portion that essentially licensed out the Lord of the Rings franchise.
Yeah, I'm reading this from Polygon. Basically, what Carlos said: Embracer Group, the ambitious, acquisition-hungry Swedish gaming conglomerate, has bought the rights to make films, games, merchandise, and theme parks based on J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
Okay, so it seems like they just own the rights to essentially make a bunch of different things to the Lord of the Rings, but not the actual franchise.
Yeah. Okay, so that makes sense.
Well,
that kind of makes sense because I can see then the family saying, we want to keep like the literary rights. We're just gonna sell off the.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that also explains the price. Like, I'm not saying it makes good sense on the price. I could just see, especially if you're Tolkien's family kind of thing. There's importance in keeping the literary rights, and you can kind of devalue everything else, especially if you kind of think the whole thing is over. So they could just be like, yeah, fuck it, do whatever you want with it. We sign off the rights wholesale.
Yeah,
it's weird, but
no, it's weird. Yeah, no, I'm just reading through this Polygon thing, and then they go, "What happened? And how come Amazon or another major entertainment industry wasn't interested?" That's a good question.
Someone needs to ask these people, man. I need to know. I need answers.
I feel like they would be interested if they had if this got brought to like auction. I feel like they would have been interested.
Yeah, it says they bought all these things, but there are several caveats, exceptions, and question marks over the extent of these rights. So some things are in the air. Okay, here we go. The publishing rights to the books themselves aren't included. They remain with the Tolkien estate and publisher HarperCollins. The licensing rights to Tolkien's other Middle-earth works, The Silmarillion, The Unfinished Tales of Numenor and Middle-earth, are also still controlled by the Tolkien estate and HarperCollins, although Embracer says it now owns quote-unquote matching rights to these works, meaning it has the right to match any offer the owners may get from elsewhere. Oh, okay. So I guess they could buy the literary works? TV rights are another major exclusion. Per Variety, the right to produce a TV series longer than 8 episodes was carved out of the deal Tolkien's estate made with Saul Zaentz back in the 1970s, meaning that Amazon was able to deal with the estate directly when it bought those rights in 2017, cutting Middle-earth Enterprises out of the deal. Nevertheless, Embracer says Middle-earth Enterprises has, quote, financial interest in the Rings of Power, as well as in Warner Brothers' upcoming animated film, The War of the Rohirrim, and EA's in-development mobile game, Heroes of Middle-earth.
What happened to that Gollum game? What happened to the Gollum game? Remember that?
I don't know.
Oh, you got delayed.
We got everything got delayed. Oh, there's Adam. Adam, you're playing Gears with your buddies, weren't you?
No, I'm sleeping, man.
Oh, shit, damn. All right. I'll read this last thing. Finally, there's a question mark over the extent of the film rights Embracer has just bought. Warner Brothers, though it's through its subsidiary, New Line Cinema, the studio behind Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings and Hobbit trilogies, has held the rights for years, but prior to the sale, the Saul Zaentz Corporation was arguing that the rights reverted to it in 2021 because Warner Brothers had not been actively developing new film projects. According to Variety, Warner Brothers didn't agree, and it's entirely possible that the War of the Rohirrim was greenlit precisely so Warner Brothers lawyers couldn't dispute this claim. Oh, shit. Because we know that happens. Projects just get greenlit, so they keep the rights.
That was Sony.
Yeah, Adam, this is about Embracer Group buying the licensing rights to Lord of the Rings. Like, not video games, like Lord of the Rings.
But I thought Amazon owned the rights to that.
No, I just read this out. They found there was, like, I guess for lack of a better term, a loophole, and they were just able to buy the rights for the show directly. Understand?
Oh my, that's crazy.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. So then they own the Rings rights, but does Warner Brothers own the rights to the Nemesis system? Because I'm curious about that. Like, I recently read about, and I'm not sure if you guys do this, the reason we don't have the Nemesis system in other video games is because the whole system is copyrighted, so it can't be used in other video games.
That's what I heard too, yeah.
So, like, where does that get lost in this whole thing?
We don't know. We have no idea. A lot of questions. As this article says, like, there's a lot of questions here, you know? So, yeah, the literary works still belong to the Tolkien estate, but the rights to make movies and games and theme parks and whatever the fuck, Embracer Group has it. And they apparently still have a right or claim to the Amazon show, too, which is interesting.
That is nuts.
These guys are crazy, man.
Yeah, it's starting to frame them as more of
Damn, first COVID, now this. What else?
they seem almost like patent trolls of IPs.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
You know what? I was joking with the whole mind. I think they're more like Swedish Tencent. You know how Tencent's gobbling shit up.
Well, remember, Embracer Group was heralded because they're the ones that took on THQ and gave them a home.
Yeah, right now look what happened.
So,
by the way,
well, that's
the heel spin right here.
Saying that's THQ Nordic. They're the people behind THQ.
Yeah, they
Nordic?
see the same people. Yeah,
they were essentially THQ Nordic. So now remember they switched their name to Embracer Group. So essentially, the Lord of the Rings is owned by THQ.
Yes.
Don't they also? Don't they?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they still release. No, wait. Wait. Before you go further, wait. Only because I'm still seeing them use the THQ Nordic.
Yes,
logo.
they do. That's the gaming.
Yeah.
That's the gaming division.
Oh, the gaming division. Okay.
Yeah, they so that it's because they were.
I don't know how there's 2K. They own Rockstar. You know.
No. Yeah, no.
But
it's because like the AEW game is being published by THQ Nordic.
Yeah.
And so they showed that, and of course Wreckfest and other popular games that are coming out. They're all still using Nordic. That's why when you said the Embracer Group, I'm like, wait, did they drop it? Because remember before, they only Nordic something, and then they bought THQ.
It was Nordic. It was Nordic Games, and then when they bought the THQ, not franchise, but the name, and then they combined it, and then they bought a bunch of the studios that develop and the franchises. So essentially, and then they renamed the company to THQ Nordic. And then after that, they were like, okay, so now there's THQ Nordic, and then there's the video games division. So they just changed the name of the main company to Embracer Group, and then the other one part of it is just THQ Nordic.
And for those who don't know, THQ stands for Toy Headquarters.
Yep.
By the way, Limited Run Games wasn't the only game company they bought this week.
Oh, they bought Limited Run also?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, that was the main thing we let off with, and then it turned out this Lord of the Rings story was bigger than we thought.
Yeah.
So they also bought Tripwire Entertainment, the developer and publisher of games like Killing Floor and Maneater.
Okay.
Those are like big games.
And they bought Throwdown. What?
Oh shit! Yeah, right. Shit. Sing Strix, a company that creates vocal effects technologies for karaoke and gaming, and Tuxedo Labs, developer of the destruction game Teardown.
Didn't they also get Eidos as well? And Crystal Dynamics?
Not
Shit, guys.
Independent.
Sorry, I was just acquired.
Yeah, Brett was.
Oh, there you go, Brett.
Murdoch Industries is no longer
Swedish meatballs, man.
They got Brett and the crickets.
You know.
Oh.
Yeah, we didn't hear the crickets this year too much. You know.
So who did Eidos and Crystal Dynamics get bought by?
Was it Embracer Group?
I think that's Embracer.
I think it is. Yeah.
So theoretically,
yeah, there it is. Yeah, it was them.
So theoretically, since they have the game rights to make a video game, and they own the company that made the Guardians of the Galaxy game.
But they don't own the rights
Crossover.
for the Marvel stuff, though.
No, it doesn't matter. The guys they're the same guys that made what was it? Deus Ex, Human Revolution, and they made the Guardians of the Galaxy game. I mean, that'd be interesting to see them handle a Lord of the Rings narrative game.
Yeah, no, you're right. Interesting, man. All right, that story was a little bigger than I expected. Yeah.
I'm just curious if they acquired the rights for video game development. I want them to have please hand off the Nemesis system.
Yeah.
Well, that is that company. I can't remember what company that is that owns.
They own it. Yeah.
Yeah, like that company has the Nemesis system.
Yeah, but isn't that just directly Warner Brothers Entertainment? Isn't that?
Well, I can't remember because those guys were former Assassin's Creed guys.
Yeah,
right?
but it's but I know.
But I don't know. I don't know the name of that company though. It was named something before it got gobbled into Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
Because I feel like most of the game is
wild stuff. This is nutso.
Oh, the Nemesis system is going to be used in the Wonder Woman game, apparently.
Wonder Woman.
Oh, those guys are making the Wonder Woman game?
Yeah.
Maybe they put some textures on that flying ship, the clear one, because that's some bullshit.
Okay, the publisher. Monolith Productions.
Okay, Monolith. Yeah. They own it, right?
So
they own it.
They own the Nemesis system. Oh, the company has been a subsidiary of Warner. Oh, so they're owned by Warner Brothers. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's why I'm curious. They're owned by Warner Brothers, so therefore Warner Brothers technically owns the Nemesis system.
Yep.
I mean, the Nemesis. They're saying the rumors it's being used in a Wonder Woman game. That might be interesting.
Yeah, it could be. We'll see.
I mean, she fights all kinds of orcs and shit too.
Yeah, you're right. All right. Moving on. Okay, this one is interesting. So, PC Game Pass, the Twitter account, they tweeted out their new profile picture, and it looks like something out of Death Stranding. So motherfuckers went crazy. You know, nothing official right now, but apparently we may hear tomorrow. So I guess we'll be fielding questions about it on Sunday if this comes to pass. The thing is, there's already a Death Stranding is already on PC, so it wouldn't be difficult to get it over on PC Game Pass, you know? And this is specifically PC Game Pass, not just Game Pass, just PC Game Pass, You know,
and this is not even a first party Sony game, so it's not like it's too out of left field here.
No.
Yeah, it does look very Death Stranding-y.
You see that, right? So everybody went fucking crazy. You know?
Yeah, it looks like the oil on the bottom and a bunch of crabs and stuff floating in the air and fish. Yeah, that looks like Death Stranding.
Yeah. Again, apparently the rumor's going to be not the rumor, it's going to be announced tomorrow, the story or whatever. So we'll see. Very interesting, but obviously people went fucking crazy. Anytime a Sony game, this is not it was a PlayStation Studio, but it's not a Sony Studios game. But anytime this happens, motherfuckers go crazy, especially on Xbox. It's my game,
So
it's already on PC, right? Isn't that?
It is.
It's already on PC.
Yeah.
They weren't happy about that either.
So here's the interesting thing.
Ooh, I should get that on Steam Deck.
What? So okay, what if this might be a nutty sort of thing? But what if it's a situation that Sony owns the rights to the console version of it, but they don't own the rights to any PC versions?
Could be.
Theoretically, you could lock down Death Stranding to PC Game Pass, right?
You know what? Let's take a look. If anybody owns in the chat or anyone that owns the PC version, when it boots up, does it even say Sony? Does it have any Sony branding on it? If not, then there's your answer.
Yeah, I think I suspect there's a good chance that he is able to. Sony has possibly has the exclusive rights to Death Stranding, the game, for console, but not for everything else.
Yeah, it could be interesting.
So
get ready. Get ready for the fanboys, because you know what's going to happen, right?
I mean,
Xbox guys that shitted on the game will suddenly
they're gonna love it.
They're gonna love it, and PlayStation guys, and then certain PlayStation guys that like the game. It wasn't all that. It wasn't all that.
But maybe not so much for the Xbox guys, because Xbox guys are Xbox guys. They're the console guys. They're focused on it. This is not going to be playable on the console.
Yeah,
this is still just for PC. So you still,
but they don't care. They got ammo. They just care about having ammo. They don't care. They don't operate with logic, obviously.
Yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, we see that on the Game Pass if it's on there. I mean, it probably won't move needles like it did with the sales.
It wasn't needles. They didn't move at all. Let's just be real here.
They launch it and it's like this, and then 2 hours later, it's like this.
That's what she said.
Lippy.
Oh man.
See, like it happens to all the guys.
It happens to all the guys. It's not just you.
Let me call Pedro.
Pedro.
What you doing? I'm coming over.
You like this, Pedro like this.
Like horse.
Like oh man. All right, moving on here. So some fun stuff here. Console. So okay, remember how all last generation we effectively had to guess what the fuck Xbox One sold? We had no clue. Microsoft finally revealed what Xbox One sold. And it's a lot worse than we thought. A lot worse. Okay, so just for perspective, PlayStation 4 sold 117.2 million units, right? The Switch, 111 million. Xbox One, take a guess. Take a guess how much it sold.
Maybe 4 million?
No, consoles, Adam.
I don't know, man. It can't be that much. I don't know.
Half?
Okay, so that would be 60 million, Brett?
Yeah, roughly, just under, I guess.
Yeah. Actually, looking at these numbers, you're probably right. So, compared to PlayStation, 117 million, 58 million.
Ooh, I got the jelly beans. Right.
That's half. I'm going to give that a half.
Brett, you make it onto the stage of The Price is Right. Yes. You got the closest.
This is what happens. Right. This is what happens when you're purchased by the Embracer Group, man. Good
efficiency
stuff.
Goes up.
Yeah. So, and again, the source is Microsoft.
I mean, I'm kind of surprised it's that high, to be really honest.
Yeah. It was rough. It was rough.
I mean, I know. Okay, so I'm going to jump in here as the other guy other than Adam that's usually defending Xbox, but let's remember this is a console that had half of its hardware basically cut out at launch, and that it had its heart cut out, man. The whole reason for its existence was just lopped off. They're like, I guess you just have the gaming part, I guess. So I mean, just still to be at a 2-to-1 ratio with that, Oh fuck, man.
I still laugh my ass off. Remember, Microsoft, we cannot get rid of Kinect. Kinect is an integral part of Xbox One. A year later, we don't need this shit.
No, the better part also, besides that, was the same thing with the 360 games. We're like, all right, so can we play a 360? No, it's just the coding. It's completely different. Isn't there still Windows-based? No, we can't do it. A few months later, you got your 360 games.
Look what we got.
We did. It took a lot of work. Oh my god, you don't understand. Look at Tommy over there. He's so tired. He had so much work to do, but he got it working. Now you can play 360. Bullshit. You could always do it. They were just holding out, and then they realized when they were losing and having all the problems and the sales, they were like, all right, we got to keep these people from at least try to bring the 360 crowd over, because that was another thing. 360 was very successful for them, and when people heard that, I personally, Xbox, I knew a lot of guys were like, I'm not getting a new one. I'll just stick with what I got. They got to sell me on it. Give me something else. I don't want to connect a big, and that thing looks like a big ass 1980s VCR. I can't put that in my living room. That's too big. And it was big. Oh man, it was something else. And remember, it had the extra port on the back, so it could also work as a DVR. So you can
all this shit.
There was just so much R&D in this. Like it reminds me of something being like where they're like, I want a race car. And they're like, well, we got a taco truck. It makes tacos. And you're like, but I want a race car. And they're like, well, tell you what, we stripped out all the taco making stuff. So now it's just a truck. Does it go fast? Kind of. Sure.
I'm telling you, man.
It's half of what it was.
Yeah. They never overcame the reveal, right? Remember, Microsoft had the little. It was people used to say it's E3. It didn't happen at E3. It happened months before E3. They had the launch, TV, sports. They never overcame that shit, And then there was other things, right? Hey, because remember they were doing a whole like DRM shit. They just completely fucked that up. And then Don Matrix statement, we have a system for people who want to play offline. It's called the 360. I'm like, you're trying to sell an Xbox One, you're telling me about the 360. And that's for the military guys. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here, man? Like, the Xbox One is going to go down as one of like the worst launches in history, one of the worst consoles. Like, what a disaster that shit was.
I would say this. It is the worst launch a console has ever survived.
Yeah, because shit. Yeah, it survived. It did survive.
You got to watch that Xbox documentary. It's on their YouTube. The one that they did. They break it down, and they said it was
what a disaster, man.
What a disaster. Everything. It was.
And then Sony came out. Remember, hey, $400. It was over. That shit reminded me of what Sony did to fucking Sega. Remember?
Remember the passing the disc.
That
was the big one.
Yeah.
And they were like, "How do you share?" And they handed the disc over. That's it.
Yeah. What a disaster, man. So
but
now we know. We don't have to guess. We know how. And that shit hasn't sold more. It's not going to sell anymore.
No.
Remember they discontinued the Xbox One X and shit. The Cyberpunk edition. Yo, what a fucking mess, man.
Okay, so but here's a thing that I think is interesting that I want to point out from that I've kind of talked about before. Because of supply line issues and everything like that, we're roughly on parity this generation. But coming from this, right? Like that's a huge thing, even if you take supply line issues into account. That's kind of why I say they've done a successful rebound in my book because they're coming from this.
Well, and that's one of the things they also point out, and they put some numbers into it in that documentary. This is the rebound. That's why they did that doc, because they were like, look, we survived this, and they thought that was it. They said they really thought we're done. There was talks of just closing up shop and just scrapping it. Remember, we heard those rumors when they were looking for some new head of the department. Somebody else came in and was like, before Nadella, the head of Microsoft, and he was talking about, getting rid of gaming. We don't need that shit. We don't need a console. So it came very close to just scrapping the whole idea.
Yeah, no, you're right, because Xbox division has always been just a side thing for Microsoft.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It could fail right now. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. It'll be like a mosquito biting you in the ass. You wouldn't notice it.
They've had two major ones because they had the Red Ring of Death, which any other company, if they were just console focused, console based, would have folded. They were like, we're done. What, we got to recall.
That would have killed them. That would have killed them.
Yeah. And they talk about all the money, when they said how much money it was going to take to do the replace and all that stuff, we got to do it. If we plan on doing this for the long term, we have to fix that relationship. And that was before they broke the relationship again with the Xbox One.
Yeah.
But they did it. So that's a lot of money. So when people say, oh man, they're buying all these shoes, they put so much money in, I say, this whole project has been just a money sinkhole for them ever since they jumped in. So it's to the point that they're so deep that they're all in. And the best way to go all in is like, well, what do we put on these consoles? We put software. All right. What do we create? Software. Do we create these type of software? No, but do we have a lot of money? Yeah. Go buy more software. And that way we're protected in case we screw up again with hardware.
Yeah. It's fucking wild, man. All right. We have to bring this up because this has been dominating my Twitter feed all week. We got to talk about Dragon Ball Z characters in Fortnite. Have you guys seen this?
No.
Yeah.
God, do we really talk about Fortnite? I mean, I know we do, but do we really?
This game really is like the Ready Player One of in real life, isn't it? Like, think about it. I saw Goku. How do I even explain? No, let me go back. I saw Chun-Li with a Fall Guys backpack, throwing a Kamehameha, and then finishing somebody off with a lightsaber. I'm not making this up.
Yeah, but at least I think it's Roblox more because you can go to school in that game.
Yeah.
You can do all these other things, but I don't know what's going on in Fortnite. I thought it was just running around shooting people in the face.
Seeing Goku running around with AK-47 has been interesting too. You know?
Yeah, that just doesn't seem right.
I seen Goku shoot and kill Superman with the gun.
Does Superman use a gun? If you're running?
Yes.
Yeah, he uses a gun.
That's ridiculous.
You can have
that's ridiculous.
And you can
I seen Batman with a gun.
Yeah,
that's wrong.
You can have Superman throw webs. Like, because they have certain things that, like special weapons and things that go with them. So you could literally totally make a copyright infringement nightmare.
They're just breaking all the characters. You shouldn't be allowed to do that. There should be some kind of like, if you're using this skin, this is voided out. This is
they've had it. Like, I've seen, like Superman throw a Kamehameha blast because that's part of some of the things. So yeah.
Is it like a weapon that you pick up? Like, this is what I don't understand. Like, how are the mechanics?
It might be a special it might be like a special weapon or possibly something else. I haven't played the game, but I know that they have
Fortnite experts here on Throwdown.
I know that they have certain things attributed to certain characters that that you can put on. So, like, in other words, you can, like, for the Venom outfit, you have to have this Venom gear that goes with it, and then it allows him to sort of goop around and stuff. So my guess it's something that goes with the the actual character. So the character is just the skin, and then he just has these additional gears that give you other abilities.
I'll be honest, it's the idea is kind of dope. Were I a kid, I'd probably be into that shit.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what you did as a kid, right? You had your Superman figure.
That's exactly what this is.
You had your little Superman figure, which I just so happen to have one on my desk, and then you have a RoboCop figure, and you're like, yeah, they're gonna fight now. Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly what Fortnite is. It's a video game version of that.
Yeah, that's pretty much that.
It's a toy box simulator.
It's a toy box.
And not a sandbox, a toy box. Oh, man. Wild,
Wild.
And now we're going to end on a cheery note.
Is that what that was? I don't know what to call that. It wouldn't be cheery, but it's not horrible.
No, I said now we're going to end on a cheery note. Superman. Because I got to bring this shit up. Okay, so earlier this week, Sony began sending review codes for the Last of Us Remake, right? And they told people, hey, go ahead. You got the game, tweet about it, A certain friend of ours, we've had on the show before, Mr. Parris Lily, he tweeted about it and chaos erupted because previously he questioned why this game cost $70, which I think is a valid question. This is the third time, or the second time we're remaking this fucking game in less than 10 years. Valid question. Everybody got on his ass. And then obviously this led to the whole great conversation. I keep telling you guys in the chat, you're going to hear this conversation until the end of this generation. $70 games. Brought that up again, So just absolute chaos. But one guy, he came at Parris sideways, saying, "You don't deserve to play this game. You bash Sony. We reject you as the Sony nation." Some bullshit. Yeah,
the Sony nation. That sounds like a appropriated Native American. We are part of the Sony nation.
Yeah,
we kicking you out of Colorado.
Yeah, it's insane. So I don't do this. I try not to do this anymore. I had to quote tweet this shit. So I said, I'm like, this is what's wrong with certain sectors of the community. This is stupid. A guy gets a game and you're going crazy. So then this guy replies to me. He's like, what? Like, oh yeah, you got something to say? Watch, I'm coming. I'm like, oh, okay.
Watch, I'm coming.
Yeah.
All right.
So, all right, come at me, bruh. The only thing I did was I just replied with the Neil deGrasse Tyson thing, like, oh, we got a badass here,
Mm-hmm.
But all this over consoles and $70 games. Ain't that something?
Number one, like, you know what? People don't get any of this shit at all. Like, listen, a person can be critical of a pricing and still get the thing in the mail. What in general? What is fucking Parris?
He's an influencer. So why wouldn't? So why wouldn't Sony want to give a person who has a large following or a YouTube presence or whatever that is? Why wouldn't they want to give that person something? Because essentially what they are is just such an advertising platform. Yeah, and the thing is, like, he's never bashed Sony. As a matter of fact, he's been more. If you look at it in the totality, he's been more critical of Xbox than he has, because Xbox, especially last generation, was fucking up.
Yeah, but he's tied. Yeah, zeitgeist isn't the right word, but he's tied in the mind.
Yeah, he's tied. Yeah, because he's on.
Yeah,
Xbox
he's considered an Xbox guy because he appeared on the Xbox stage.
But the notion that he's not allowed to even play PlayStation games because he's a quote unquote Xbox guy is ridiculous.
I don't think it's that. Like, let me ask this question: why do people get so defensive over the $70 price tag? Like, I know why I get critical, and I have my own thoughts on that, and that's fine at all. What baffles me is that people come so ferociously to bat for the idea of paying $10 more for their game. And they will die on this fucking hill because inflation and other stuff and game companies cost more, even though they're making record profits. So I have to give them more money, and so do you. Like, why are they so defensive about this price point is my question.
Dude, that's something I've been asking myself all week. As I like to do on Twitter, Brett, I like to just tweet one thing and let it go, right? So I just tweeted out $70 games. That's literally all I wrote. Half the responses were people defending them. I don't get it. Why? So you're telling me you want to pay more?
Apparently, I'm baffled, man.
Because that apparently makes the product better, right?
They will die for their right to pay more for video games.
Officially, price raises don't exactly mean the prices of the quality of the products are going to get any better.
Yeah, and I've said this from the jump. I've said this on Twitter many times. Tweeted about this. Made Tony say about it. I personally don't care that games are $70. I don't give a fuck. I don't care about that. What? I'm just saying, justify it. That's all I'm asking. Justify it.
Why? Yeah. Why? Besides the idea of inflation and all that stuff, they've already been talking about $70 price tags even before any of this sort of stuff happened.
Yeah.
So what's the justification for the 75? Are you getting additional something? What are you getting out of this? Other than the usual suspects, DLC, blah blah blah, and all that other the garbage that that usually comes with buying a game.
And the thing is,
it's next gen, man. That's what you get.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
it's shiny. You pay for the shiny.
Yeah, because think about this, right? Let's just be honest here. If games were $70 across the board in the gaming industry right now, we probably wouldn't be talking about this as much. There's only one company that's really doing this. Let's be real here. This company.
One company
right
that's doing this. It's not, and they're not doing this. Like, if they were just doing this for PS5 exclusives, things that were strictly on PlayStation 5 with the graphical improvement that were developed exclusively for that, and maybe it was kind of to offset the fact that they're hitting a lower install base or something like that. Sure, I could see them being like a true next-gen game. Sure, this is some recycled bullshit you're paying us. You're charging us $10 more for.
Yeah, and people were saying like, if Nintendo were doing this, they would say that they are doing it. The Nintendo tax.
Yeah, we make fun of them all the time.
You know,
all the time.
You know, so it's.
I remember even Rockstar said it when they had LA Noire, when they launched on there, when they did the remastered or whatever version, the upgraded one, and it was cheap across the board except for the Switch. It was like $50, and people started flaming them online. It was like, oh, what's up with the? And then they just said, ask Nintendo. They put that price on there, so the Nintendo tax. It's not the publishers doing that.
Nintendex.
Yeah, Nintendex, exactly. Real quick, J Shep, what's going on, brother? Always good to have you here. He goes, I can tell you why. If Sony is the leader and their games are considered quality and the competitors' games cost less and they're mostly not quality. So in your mind, if games cost less than you expect them to, if you expect for them to longer be quality. Here's the thing. The reason we don't have $40 games as standard is because gamers think $40, that's a fucking cheap ass game. That's a cheap quality game. You know, so gamers have been doing this shit to themselves for years. You know, that's why games cost so much, because of you guys. Oh, I'm not paying up for a $30 game. That's a bullshit cheap ass game. I'm not paying that. I want to pay $60 for that game.
There was a point. You know, you may not remember this, J Shep, because you might be a little young, but there was a point when we were paying multiple prices for different types of games. You know, middleware games usually would hit in the $30 range. You even had $20 games.
Yeah.
And then the obviously the big experiences were considered the 60s or the 50s at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Ironically, Nintendo games.
Yeah, because they were, let's just say what you will about Nintendo games. They're pretty good quality games, you know. But yeah, so again, we're not going to hear the end of this generation. It's going to be $70 all generation. So get ready, you know.
And the thing is that it's funny because Sony is the only one that is sticking to the guns of the $70 price tag. Yeah. Remember when EA said that all their games were going to be $70? Remember what happened with them? They got a huge backlash off of that.
Exactly. By the way, Manny J. Shep goes, he does remember those days. He also remembers he couldn't afford any of those games. That's right, because they cost like $90 for some games. You know?
Well, I'm talking about like PlayStation 2 era, when they had the different prices. That
showed my age, the Nintendo cartridges. Remember when they had
the Nintendo cartridges, those were in the 70s. Yeah, those were expensive $70 and $80 games. That's why they would say, your parents would say to you, yo, you better play that game until the wheels fall off, because you ain't getting anything until Christmas.
Hilarious, man.
Video games are only worth as much as you're willing to pay for them. For a game like The Last of Us Part 1 Remake, for me, it's not a $70 game. So does it mean that I hate the game or it's garbage or anything like that? No. I secretly hate it. I mean, but if it's worth $30, it's on special. Hey, I might pick it up. It might be worth it.
Brian, man. Brian never buys anything when it's a full price.
Well, and that's the thing. For someone like Brian, most games aren't even worth $60 for him.
Yeah.
So, everyone has their different ranges, their different thresholds of what a game is worth, and to them, it might not even be worth it after they pay for it, but if you see a game like Elden Ring coming out and it's worth $60 or it's worth $70, it's a no-brainer for me. God of War, it's a no-brainer. But if you're gonna release The Binding of Isaac for $70 on the Switch after it's been released over 5 years ago, then it's definitely not worth that much. So at least for me, so I feel with video game prices, they can all go up and down, or go up as much as you want. But at the end of the day, the companies are only going to raise it up to the point where they think they can make the most profit. And if a company like, let's say, Ubisoft decides to release the next Assassin's Creed for $100 or $90, then they're going to see that they're not going to sell as many copies as they used to back in the day. But that's because the public is speaking on
exactly. Their games. And the proof is going to be how soon until we see it on sale. And we saw this with other games when they were just regular 60. The one that Minnie and I love to play, that Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Awesome game. But then within 2-3 weeks, it was ready in a bargain bin for half the price. And I was like, damn, that was really quick. So we'll see. If they start throwing $70 games like this, we'll know if people are actually paying that based off of how quickly it goes on sale. So
yeah. I mean, people. If 70 games is a tough barrier for most people, then Sony will be the first to know whether that was a good idea or not.
Yeah, no, you're right. Going to be very interesting. All right, man. We are done here. Another good show. Do we have anything to plug?
Adam, do you? I mean, I've been doing. I've been presenting myself as the whole show as I am Negan. I'm really proud of the show. I'm really proud of you hosting it, and Mr. Richard Bailey Jr. hosting us and being the co-host of the show. But I will say this: that last episode of Tales of the Walking Dead might have been the worst piece of TV I've ever seen, and I'm glad. And I told everyone on the chat in the Throwdown chat, I'm like, yo, Adam is not gonna like this episode. He's gonna hate it, and I was right.
Yeah, and then I think it was Tony. Somebody said that there was some line that negativity is what people strive for, something like that. Because it was all I know is that we got more views, at least when it comes to for the podcast stuff, for that episode.
Negativity draws people, man.
That's it. Negativity. They probably heard all the flaming, and then they sent it to their buddies. Oh, and you wanted to keep watching Walking Dead? Listen to these people. Hear this shit. Yeah, exactly. Watch this. Hear this. The same shit. Because I'm seeing the numbers, and I'm like, but this episode was horrible. I'm sure they weren't interested, and that's probably why. They were like, finally, it's like someone is not kissing ass. Because we did see, at least Rich did, he saw some people following on their official Twitter saying, wow, this is great. Oh, I can't wait. This is awesome. Thumbs up. I'm like, these are friends and family, because this show was not that good. This was really bad. It is by far the worst episode for any Walking Dead franchise.
Wow.
It was so bad. Doesn't make any sense. It was like they were trying to be like the Outer Limits. Do you remember that, when it was just like random weird? There was like a cheap knockoff of the Twilight Zone, and they never really answered anything, and that's what happened here. Wow. Groundhog Day going on with these two girls. Right at the end, nothing happened. Nothing resolved. How did it happen? No, we don't know.
That's bad.
It was bad.
That's out there. Yeah, go ahead, keep going.
So if you guys want to check out our full review, and especially Richard Bailey Jr., man, when Richard doesn't like something, he spits out the hot fire, man. So check out I Am Negan on all the podcasting apps, thecoalition.com. That's the coalition with a K. Adam is our host, and you can catch him, myself, and Richard Bailey Jr. Every week. All things Walking Dead.
That's it, exactly. It's out there. Cool. And then also, there are only 6 episodes, and it's episodic, so each one's going to be separate. But we have our own theories of what's going to happen in the last episode. But go check it out. iTunes, Spotify, of course, YouTube, if you want to see all that stuff in the coalition.
Cool, man. Manny, you have anything to plug?
Unfortunately, no. There's nothing right now.
He's got a song.
Yeah, she's using the cleaner on the desk. Anyway, nothing to report here. Just wait and see.
Good stuff. Jay Shep goes, drop that She-Hulk review. Fuck that. I'm not watching that show.
Well, I heard that they're going based off of how the comic, because people keep forgetting that She-Hulk was one of the first to break that fourth wall.
Yeah.
And you remember, she was always looking at it. It's like, do you see what they're putting me do? Do you see what they have me do? And then she would jump through the pages and stuff. And then, of course, Deadpool did it. But so I'm curious to see if they incorporated that into the show. So I'm wondering if people are going to say, oh, they're just ripping off Deadpool, not knowing that this was always the She-Hulk thing.
Remember, it's the thing that's popular that, is the first,
Yeah.
Manny, you were tweeting about that the other day,
Yep. Yeah, it's always the thing that's the most recent in the zeitgeist. That's the thing that it doesn't matter if you're the first. You could be
Black Panther was the first black superhero movie, so we all know that.
But and then there was Blade,
the Battle Royale game.
Of course.
So yeah, so it's just like in that situation, it's like a lot of people see that she does this sort of thing, and they're thinking, oh, she's doing like what Deadpool does. Well, yeah, she sort of did it. She was the first comic character to do it regularly.
I do like Tatiana. That's the actress that plays because she was.
Shout out to Tatiana, man.
Right, Tatiana.
You talk about the my friend Tatiana.
That too.
Tatiana Maslany.
Anybody with the because if you ever seen Orphan Black, that was the one with the multiple clones, and she played every single one, and it was a bunch of them. And she was also in that remake of Perry Mason. She was very good in that one too. So
who do we get on the case?
She's exactly. So she's a great actress. So I'm sure she'll nail it on this. But it all comes down to the story, right? And how they portray She-Hulk. And it's a comedy. It's a comedy, and it's 30 minutes. It's a half-hour long episode. So hit or miss, right?
I still think it's weird that one of Ozzy Osbourne's best songs is called Perry Mason. Like, hey, Zach, I want to make a song about Perry Mason. You know, hey, boss, we got you. Here's a riff. Oh, that's good. I want to sing about Perry Mason. You know,
right, Sharon.
One of the lead writers is from Rick and Morty. That's on this. So I didn't know that either. So I was like, oh, okay.
Wait. On She-Hulk?
She-Hulk, yeah. The female one that was getting flamed a while ago.
Yeah, okay. I was about to say, like, I love when people are like, oh, what are the main writers? I'm like, there's two main writers on that show. Yeah. It's Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland. Like,
yeah.
I'm not, there are other writers, but like,
she's part of the writers group. She's part of the.
No, she was in there for like half a season, from my understanding. Like, she popped in there. The season where she did the big.
Some big popular one that everyone gave her credit for. It was her idea.
Yeah, the Pickle Rick, the monologue, the therapist monologue in Pickle Rick episode is what she's famous for.
Oh, that's a good one.
It is, and it is good, but it was also a slight departure from where the series had gone before.
Yeah,
she wasn't there for like the whole season, and then that was it. So like, she was there, she did a cool thing, and then she left. But she is not like
she's
tied to Rick and Morty the way a lot of people think that she is.
Well, I think they're just reading off her credentials, and they're like, "Who's behind this?" I'm like, "Well, she was from Rick and Morty, and she's known for being back." You know?
She helped on a few episodes of Rick and Morty. I want to say maybe even like half the season, if I'm correct. But she wasn't one of the head writers of the series.
No.
Someone just posted a video on Twitter of someone cutting up a mango, and there's no fucking seed. How is that even? I'm sorry, man.
Well, they make watermelon. There's watermelon without any seed in them.
Yeah, but I mean, watermelon seeds are
engineered, man. You know,
they're mutants.
Man, if it got no seed, then how can it be a fruit?
Right.
I mean, theoretically, it's a vegetable, right?
But, usually they do that by splicing it to, like, I want to say for some of them, like seedless oranges and whatnot, I want to say they splice them with a lemon tree or something like that. They splice them with some other tree. So they're just like cut it off at the trunk and then just tie another tree part to the top.
Interesting.
So they have to like manually splice together each of the plants because they're sterile, obviously seedless once they start producing fruit.
That is true. All right, man. I thought there was something else I had to say, but 2 more episodes, people. 2 more episodes until Throwdown episode 400. Man, it's coming, and that's gonna be episode 400 of both shows. So we will be having special guests, and for Throwdown Your Questions, we'll be having the AMA special. So it's gonna be very interesting, celebrating 400 episodes, 800 total of this iteration of Throwdown. So get ready. That's going to be September 1st, man. So it's going to be really big show.
Boy.
All right, man. So that's it, man. So make sure you follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter. Hit us up on Discord. Leave us all the stories. Remember, every story that we have on Throwdown, it's all you guys. I just go to the Discord, go to the beginning of the week, and just scroll down, pick stories. So this show, you guys make it happen, you know? And, of course, Mob Hit's always dropping them rumors. You know,
and occasionally the bits.
Oh yeah, no bits tonight though, but it's all right. Save your money. You know, save it for episode 400. Make it rain that day. You know,
save your money for those $70 games that are coming.
We are on every podcast app on the planet. Throwdown Show. That's 2 words, Throwdown Show. Every place you find I Am Negan, we are also there. So make sure you hit both of us up, Throwdown Show to listen to previous episodes. And if you have been watching us on YouTube and you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of when our premieres go live. Links to everything down below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco. And tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you next time.
Carlos Romero.
He's out.
Adam Thale.
Hey, have a good weekend, people.
Brett Murdoch.
Throwdown. Not doing better, being better.
Yes. And Brian Manjoma.
Why are there suddenly giant eyeballs everywhere?
Okay, I don't know that.
I was hoping that Manny might get the reference.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking Elden Ring.
No.
You'll have to tell us off air.
What's your sanity meter at, Brian?
Yep. All right, people. We'll see you on Sunday. Peace out.
Deuces.
Oh, yeah, Cat. Cat the game.
Yeah, suddenly just giant eyeballs.
With Stray has eyes?
Yeah, there's this one part where you get deeper into the sewer area. You find
is that spoilers, by the way? Wait, we'll leave it alone. We'll leave it Sunday later.
Oh, I thought we still talking.